Now I'm gonna make some hummus. And my family really likes a recipe for hummus or hummus from this cookbook, Zahav. And the recipe that's in here is called Turkish hummus. And you might wonder what makes this different from all other hummus recipes, but this one doesn't use tahina, which is sesame paste. This one, instead of tahina for the fat element of the hummus, it uses butter. You have to understand that this is delicious stuff. We also serve it warm. And so the combination of the warm and the butter, it's wonderful. So how do you make this hummus? Well, I based this loosely on the recipe in this cookbook, but I've made a few tweaks of my own. So I'm gonna start with a very large can of garbanzo or chickpeas. This one is 29 ounces, and I like this brand. I'm gonna open the can. I'm just gonna drain and rinse the chickpeas. So I have a colander here in the sink. Combination, rinsing out this. I'm gonna put some water in here. So you see I have them here in the colander. Sometimes they get the little skins that separate out. You could make yourself a little silly trying to get all the skins off your chickpeas, but sometimes I do, depends on the day. All right, so that's gonna drain for a few minutes, right there. All right, now the next thing that you need to do is to melt the butter. Now, I like to double how much butter the original recipe calls for, so I use a whole stick of butter. It also calls for roasted garlic, but desperate times call for desperate measures, and so it works really well with garlic from a jar. And so here I have some garlic from a jar and a whole stick of butter, and I'm gonna turn this on, and I am going to just melt these two things together. Now here I have my melted butter and garlic. It's a little hot, and I have a spatula, and I put all those drained chickpeas here into the bowl of my food processor. And now I'm just gonna pour and scrape the butter in with the chickpeas. Just wanna scoop all that good garlic out of the bottom. Oh, perfect. Okay, put this to the side. Keep my spatula. We need a little bit of pepper. Gonna grate in some pepper, not particular, about that much. I'm gonna put in some salt, but honestly, I have in the past forgotten the salt, and you don't even notice. I do use salted butter, which helps. Okay. And the last thing is lemon juice. And if you have real lemons on hand, great. And if you don't, lemon juice works. You're gonna put in a lot of lemon juice, like a lot. Like that much. You want lemon juice. A lot of lemony makes this delicious. Okay, so then you put the lid on your food processor and you're gonna start it. You are gonna mix until it's all mixed together and mushy and creamy, and then you're gonna mix it even more. You wanna give this a lot of mix time. Nice, creamy, mixed up hummus. That is the key. The more mixing, the happier you'll be. So here we go. Okay, I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna take the lid off, and you can see, oh, it's so creamy and perfect. Okay, so now I have a pie dish. You could use anything. A shallow dish is all you really need. You don't have to grease the pan, because remember, you put a whole stick of butter in there. So you're gonna take what you have in your food processor, and you're just gonna scoop it in there. Okay, so you put it in here and you spread it all nice and neatly. Look how beautiful that is. And you make sure that your hands are super clean. Maybe you taste just a little bit. Oh, it's so good. Okay, and then here's what you do. You're gonna take this, you're gonna just set it somewhere until about 10 or 15 minutes before you're ready to eat it. You're gonna stick it in the oven. And it really doesn't matter if the oven's at 350, 375, or 400. It actually works great if you're cooking something else for dinner that night and you want a little extra, you want to add this hummus to your meal. So about 10 or 15 minutes before you're ready, you put this into the oven. It will get warm. We'll get a little bit of a crust on top, but not a lot. You don't want a lot. And you're gonna serve it warm on your table. And oh, it is delicious.